Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, tonight we're going to talk about Bundy Ranch, courage, and Elf on the Shelf. I know, those things don't sound like they have anything in common. Courage. Today, when people say courage, they think the absence of fear. That's not what courage is. Courage is recognizing a danger and overcoming your fear of it. That's what courage is. The absence of fear is stupidity. Fear exists for a reason. It keeps you alive. Rational fear, anyway. Now, a lot of people point to Bundy Ranch as a good example of courage. Now, if you're not familiar with it, some ranchers faced off with the Bureau of Land Management. That's basically what happened. Now, I was asked to go. I had some friends ask me to go there and offer my advice. I said no. I didn't want to be a part of amateur hour at the OK Corral. And I thought the tactics that the Bundys were using were reckless at best, and I thought it would lead to unnecessary bloodshed. I'm saying this because I want to firmly establish that I'm not a fan of the Bundys. Now, most of you are kind of liberal. You may not know this, but since that incident, the Bundys have become social media phenomenons. They are darlings of the far right. And this week, I watched Eamon Bundy display true courage, real courage. He went to his audience, his fan base of far right people, and openly and repeatedly called out the president's immigration policy in no uncertain terms. I actually encourage you to go look and see what he said. I tend to focus on the legal and moral aspects of it. He went to the religious aspects, and it's rather interesting. So, to me, that's courage. And the reason I want to acknowledge that courage is because in my comment section a lot, I see people say things like, man, I wish there were more people from the South that thought like you. I wish there were more people that looked like you, that acted like you. There are. The majority of rural America supports freedom, real freedom, freedom for everybody. You know, that there are people that truly believe in the Constitution. And the whole premise of the Bill of Rights could be summed up with your right to be left alone. But because of that, and because they embody that, they mind their own business. A good example of that was today, and what may be the greatest cliche ever. My wife wanted pictures of the kids with Santa, so we head to Bass Pro Shop like good rednecks. And we get up there, and my wife also we need to get a new elf on the shelf. If you don't know what this is, it's a little elf that hangs out, moves around your house at night, and he reports back to Santa on how the kids are behaving. We need a new one. And, so we're standing there, we got all the kids with us, and my wife walks over out of the line to go get a new elf on the shelf, and this random woman, not a Bass Pro Shop employee, no reason to boycott them, looks at our family, and then looks at her and says, "Oh, well, you want these," and motions to the male, light-skinned elves on the shelf. And my wife's like, well, first, I want you to picture a woman that would marry me. She's not exactly timid. She's like, I really don't think that matters. And the tone of her voice made other people in line kind of look over. And the woman's like, oh yeah, it matters. And you could see people, their faces. Everybody's like, what? Now some of them were upset because of the obvious racist connotations to what the lady was saying. And some of them were probably upset at the idea of a woman telling another family what kind of Christmas decoration they needed, because we don't do that. We let people run their own lives. Now my wife, she says some things that can't be repeated in polite company, and manages to make a point of showing the lady that she got the female Latina elf on the shelf, which was entertaining. And we did manage to get out of the store with the pictures of the kids with Santa without ending up on World Star. That's always a bonus. But the point is that crowd, those people that said nothing. You could tell by the look on their face they could not believe that this woman would say this. All white, it's Bass Pro Shop, come on. And you could tell people were upset, but nobody said anything because it's not what we do. We mind our business. Now that I've explained this, I want to issue a challenge to everybody that minds their business. Start lending your voices. You can't. You can't just sit on the sidelines anymore. It's getting too dangerous and too crazy out there for you to try to wait it out. You can't. You've got to get involved. You know, I know people like us, the last thing in the world that you want to do is start a Facebook page or a YouTube channel to tell people, other people, how to live their lives. It's not what you do. That's a pastor's job. Do it. Do it. Be that megaphone for people. Because here's the thing, it's this tiny vocal minority that's making the rest of us look horrible. Somebody has got to start talking for those people who truly believe in freedom. Freedom for all. Not freedom based on where you were born or your skin color or your socioeconomic class. Freedom for all. And we need a lot more voices doing it. You know, another comment I see a lot in the comment section is, and it comes from black people, you know. Man, my people have been saying this for years. Some redneck comes along and says it and it goes viral. You know as well as I do that somebody that looks like us, sounds like us, can say things and have it listened to, and they'd never listen to it if it came from a black person. You know it. Be that megaphone. Start standing up for freedom. Real freedom. Not nationalism. Freedom. Anyway, and if you are a Southern belle, if you are a young Southern female, for God's sake, start a YouTube channel. It's one thing I've noticed about that social media platform. You are more important than you can possibly imagine at getting the message out to the people that need to hear it. Anyways, just a thought. Y'all have a good night.